Tell us, why are you in jail? What did you do?
I am incarcerated for the second-degree murder of my wife at our deer camp in Jackson Parish. We went to retrieve a brush cutter at our camp, and I was convicted of her murder at our deer camp on the night of September the 11th, 1991.
Warden Benoit, is there anything you can add?
He's done 32 years. He's only have one DB report in his 32 years. That's an outstanding disciplinary record. He's no problem. He's about every day is about the demeanor you see him here today.
Good deal. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. My name is Robin Horton. I am the missions minister at the Simple Church in Bossier City. And I am here today not just because of my role as a pastor and getting to know Jerry's daughters and Jerry, but I'm really here as my role as a mother. About 8 years ago, my now 18-year-old son, Jackson Horton, met Jerry when we went to the Angola rodeo. Jack and Jerry hit it off and a mentorship formed that at that time, we did not know how much our son would need. I've always said that every student needs another adult in their life speaking into them. And I just didn't know that adult in our son's life would be speaking to him from behind prison walls. Jerry has spent hours handwriting letters to him, letters full of life-giving words along with critical life instruction, reminding him that our circumstances don't define us. What other people think about us, that doesn't define us. Our relationship with Jesus is what defines it. Jerry explained what trust looks like, even with so many people he trusted. Allowing Jerry the chance to return to his family will be a gift with lasting benefits. And it's my prayerful recommendation that you would grant Jerry mercy, grace, and allow him to use his influence to do good, just like he was told when he first got there.
I'm Jerry Ann Blankenship. I'm the daughter of Jerry McLemore and the daughter of the victim. But as I stand here before you today, there were so many feelings that washed over me and so many emotions that it is hard to articulate. I was brought back to a moment as a timid, frightened 13-year-old girl having to take a witness stand at my father's murder trial, only to be asked leading questions and never feeling like I had a voice to be heard in the matter. But I am no longer that frightened girl. I am approaching you all in confidence and boldness to share why we fully and faithfully believe our dad deserves to receive his pardon. You are all going to hear words both of support and opposition, but I want you to ask you to please lean into the words that we're saying in support. He has continually stayed involved in our lives the best he could. He prays with us, he leads us, and I am a proud daughter to him. So I pray the words of support that have come across to you will show the man of his character and that they will outweigh the one moment 34 years ago. I know confidently that my dad has already received his pardon of grace and mercy from our Lord, and he will live in that and he will bask in the glory of the Lord one day. He has the opportunity to receive his pardon by man here today, which will ultimately allow him to walk out of the gates of Angola that have been his home for almost 34 years. He has missed our adolescent, teen, younger adult years, births of our children, our weddings. He has the opportunity to embody family, to embrace friendships, to be a part of our community and our church party and in our home. He is welcome in our home to come stay with us. So this is the moment and the exact reason pardons are part of our judicial system to offer those second chances. Thank you.
I am Mindy Lancaster. I am the eldest daughter of Jerry McLemore and Ann McLemore. My sister and I have maintained a very close relationship with our mother's family, all the while navigating the waters of forgiveness and freedom to love our dad. We have been peacemakers and peacekeepers. You see, that man that entered those gates in 1992 is not the man who sits in that seat today. He was a man of self-righteousness, arrogance, and pride. That man deserves to be in prison. But the space and the separation through the incarceration has allowed that old Jerry to become the man, the dad, the grandfather, and the great-grandfather he is today. And he is a follower of Jesus. He has served as a minister, a mentor, and a teacher. He even served at the Dog Pen C.C. Dixon training facility, taking care of highly trained canines at Angola. Our dad is also a skilled and accomplished acrylic oil artist. He is now a skilled taxidermist at Angola. We want our dad home. It's been long enough for us.
All right, now we'll hear from the opposition. Could we hear from Miss Vicky Coulter, please?
I am Elizabeth Ann Wilder McLemore's youngest sister. Ann was murdered in 1991, and the following year, Jerry McLemore was convicted of that murder. When you lose someone by someone else's hand, it just seems to resonate differently. Life as you know it is forever altered, and you tend to look for the boogeyman wherever you go. Ann's death changed the dynamics of our immediate and extended family in a lot of ways. I watched as my mother and father grieved the child that had made them parents, knowing there was nothing I could do to ease their pain. Throughout the years, I've often wondered what Ann would look like, what she would have done during certain situations, or how much joy she would have obtained watching her daughters grow up and become mothers and grandmothers. It's been a little over 33 years since her death. I've maintained a good relationship with her daughters, who were 15 and 12 at the time of the murder. Jerry McLemore's also got to watch them grow up. He's met husbands, grandchildren, a great-grandchild. He even got to attend and participate in both of his parents' funerals in Ouachita Parish. These are things Ann did not and will not ever get to do. Jerry was convicted of Ann's murder and sentenced to a life without probation, parole, or pardon. He has never, to our knowledge, ever accepted responsibility for his actions, nor has he reached out to any of us to ask for forgiveness and explain why he felt like Ann had to die. I feel that Jerry should remain in prison and serve out the full term of his life sentence. Thank you.
And we have Miss Nancy Trapp.
My name is Nancy Wilder Trapp. I am a sibling of the murder victim, Elizabeth Ann Wilder McLemore. I might have known her better than most others. Even in her personal unhappiness before her death, she was committed to a strained, two-parent household for the sake of Mindy and Jerry Ann. This release would sever the already fragile relationships within Ann's family and devastate our community. I believe Jerry McLemore should serve the sentence he was given to the end of his natural life and continue the ministry he's involved in without benefit of release. Thank you for hearing my statement.
Yes, ma'am, and thank you both. Also joining us is Beth Whittington.
Thank you. I'm speaking in opposition to any change in the sentence of Jerry McLemore. At the time of the crime, I was a criminal investigator for the Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Office in Monroe. I'm very familiar with the details of the case. Not only did McLemore plan, calculate, carry out, and cover up his heinous crime, as you will read in his case file, he has not admitted guilt. He told the board today, "I'm incarcerated for the murder of my wife. I was convicted for her murder, but I did not hear him admit that he killed Ann Wilder McLemore." Based on the stated facts, I vehemently oppose any commutation of sentence now or in the future.
Ms. Megan, thank you for your remarks. And we have a representative from the DA's office in Jackson Parish.
I'm Danny Newell. I am the district attorney in the 2nd JDC, Claiborne, Bienville, and Jackson Parish. Can I ask Jerry McLemore a question?
We'd rather you address your remarks to us, sir.
Okay. In my opinion, Jerry McLemore still does not admit that he murdered his wife, that he was having an affair with a 17-year-old girl that probably started when she was 15, and he lied about everything involving the crime. He planned it, shot her in the back with a .270 2 times, and I'm sure Jerry has done a lot of good in the prison. And for some reason, everybody that goes to prison, most of them do find God, and some of them sincerely find God. But for the daughter to say that he has already received his pardon from the Lord, I don't know, but if he is not admitting that he murdered his wife, can't imagine the Lord is forgiving him. He is not entitled to parole. He would start down that road, or clemency. He would start down that road if he did admit it. But he's had 30 plus years to make that step. And I don't think he's done anything to deserve to get out. And you don't start accomplishing anything to deserve to get out until you admit your crime, and he's not doing it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Newell. We appreciate your input. All right, Mr. McLemore, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Tillis. Please answer his questions.
Good morning, Mr. McLemore. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing, sir?
Good, good. I heard you say you're involved in ministry.
Yes, sir.
What type of ministry are you involved in?
Well, at this time period or any,
Wait, yes.
at this time period, I just generally do, the church work and things at Camp Elf now. And I do personal ministry work, just talking with guys and helping them to develop themselves spiritually.
You're a clergyman?
I would not call myself a clergyman. No, I just call myself a Christian.
Okay, okay, that's good. Did your wife like to hunt?
Yes, sir, she did.
Did you love your wife?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
You did?
Yes, sir.
I read your case and I went through it several times, and I just want to ask you one question. Did you kill your wife?
No, sir, I did not.
You did not kill her.
No, sir.
The other question I wanted to know was, what kind of relationship did you and your wife have?
We were not on the best relationship at the time period. We had our troubles, but we were back into reconciliation, working things out, doing better. But I was a very unfaithful man against her, and by having, an affair with another woman.
That's it. Okay, I have no more questions.
I see, as far as like your classes, I see you don't really have any crime victims classes. You have living in balance and, stuff like that. Why have you not taken any crime victim classes, like, victim awareness or writing an accountability letter or any of those kind of things?
I just have not taken them yet. No, ma'am. No,
You have
there's no
time
no-
to.
Yes, ma'am. I could have easily taken those classes, worked them in schedule.
You kept saying you were sorry and everything. Are you now admitting to the crime? Because what are you sorry about?
I am terribly sorry for the situation that brought us to that. I was convicted under circumstantial evidence, and entirely circumstantial evidence. I was blamed in things that were untrue. And, I will admit the prosecution put together a very, very strong circumstantial case. However, there are new evidence that has come up, as well as Mr. Newell knows, under DNA that disproves their case. But I have not been able to have a hearing on that.
So, but here's a thing that your girlfriend must said, that they, because you just said that you've been unfaithful, right? But she was very young. She was a teenager. And that you kept promising to leave your wife, and eventually said he wished he had the nerve to take her out in the woods and kill her. 3 guns were stolen from McLemore's neighbor. McLemore's gun cabinet, the 3rd gun was the murder weapon. So was that other gun registered to you, the type of gun that she was shot with, the 22? I know they said they found a bucket of 22 caliber ammunition that spilled over on the camp floor.
Yes, ma'am. That was in the camp. The 22 that I used at the crime scene to return fire against the guy.
Oh,
That was my gun.
oh, I see. So you returned fire with that ammunition.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All righty. And so what about what the girl said? Did you say something like that just to put her off so that she'd stay with you? You wish you weren't with your wife or something like that?
That was what I had said to her at some time previously, way prior to that, yes.
Prior to it. Okay. Well, I don't have any more questions.
None.
All right, and I don't have any questions, Mr. McLemore. Prepared to vote, Mr. Tillins?
Yes. Mr. McLemore, due to the evidence that I read in your case and law opposition against you, my vote today is to deny.
Mrs. Stapleton?
I concur, and I'm going to add victim opposition and to the heinous nature of the crime.
Mr. Franklin?
Concur.
Mr. Franklin?
I'm going to recuse myself as I have dealings with Mr. McLemore.
All right, my vote today, based on what the warden has said about him, about his prison record and the fact that his daughter's supporting, would be to recommend a commutation of his sentence. However, today requires three favorable votes for any favorable action for you today. You've received 3 votes to deny your application, 1 vote that was favorable. So the outcome of today's proceeding is your application for clemency has been denied, sir. Good luck to you.
Okay, thank you.